Um, Let me see who get ready to come on. So I give y'all a couple minutes to tune in. I'm a little late. Give y'all a little time. We get ready. First of all, how y'all doing? Hope y'all had a good holiday and weekend. Hope y'all got a chance to get down off state. I'm looking at my screen here and you talk about it. We get ready to get into this book. This project 2025. We're gonna get into it a little bit. So I'm gonna give everybody a couple minutes to get on here. I'm a little late with it. I'm gonna try to get that schedule together. So we'll have a precise time. What time we gonna air? Yeah, let's get into it in a couple minutes. And all a couple people invite themselves in. See y'all good. See y'all coming in here with me. All right, so I'm ready to get into it. So, um, happy Memorial Day. All state was good. I thought it was good. I had a good time. I had a great time. I saw some teachings. Um, that I socialized with and seen some people I haven't seen in a while. Which was good. It was good. It's always good to see people, man, that's know and respect and people respect you. I ain't had no whole bunch. I had a little incident, but it was okay. I just left the scene, you know. I wasn't trying to cause no harm or nothing like that. So, this project 2025 is about, dismantling basically the government. And so what they trying to do is they trying to gut the government and make it all, they keep it something. It's really for the rich people. Do we have a president that wants to be a dictator? I believe he follows dictators. He's not presidential. Um, he knows nothing about policy. He thinks this is a game. Um, so it's 10,000 people, that's been stacked like cards to carry out, um, basically this destruction on democracy. Um, he's a little angry at the colleges because his son apparently is not as, um, gifted or talented as he would want him to be. And so he didn't make it into Harvard, Columbia, or Stanford. His name is Barron. So Barron is, I believe he's the youngest. I believe he's the youngest. So you know Trump is the 45th, 47th U.S. President. Donald Trump, American politician, so they say. Um, born June 14, 1946. So he's 78. Um, so he ain't that young to be tripping off of Biden. I mean, he's old. Um, he gave a horrible speech to the cadet, which made no sense, at all. I don't think that anyone with common sense know what he's talking about. So if you look at it and listen to it clearly, you would know that he ain't know what he was talking about. So that's who they say that's who the American people voted for. Um, I had my doubts because I just don't see how. I mean, I kind of see how it could happen, and I kind of know why I believe that it happened. But that's my own personal opinion. I just believe that American people, for one, didn't want a woman. For two, didn't want Afro American. And for three, didn't want somebody smart enough to run the country as a woman to be sitting in that seat. Now you had to remember, um, a lot of male chauvinists would never want a female for president, especially one that this color. So, um, I believe that had a lot to do with it. Um, Joe Obama, Georgia went to prestige colleges and universities, and the Trump Georgia couldn't get in one with all their money. They grades just weren't talking about. So now I see why, um, he went after certain institutions, educational institutions. But that's a plan of the 25. So inside the 25, it's going to be consequential stuff, transformation, And we have erosion of civil rights, um, social division. So they need to get congressional achievement in 180 days. They say the Trump should win. Meaning that 4.3 million people lose over time protection. 40 million to see their food assistance reduced to um, 220,000 Americans. Jobs prevented, which is they hitting that number now. So that's what they trying to do in 180 days. It's a 900-page memorandum. Um, and they trying to carry it out to the best of their ability. Um, so May 22nd, they try to block funds so that they can um, have international students come to the college and university and more, which is, that's crazy, man. That's sickening. On top of that, 10,000 plus people to lose health care and education. Um, so it's liable to be some dark days ahead, man. It's liable to be some dark days. I think, if you haven't read this book, it's a lot to it. It's gonna take a while to get into it, but it's a lot. Um, they talked about social policy, economics, and immigration, national security, border control, military, and national defense, personal database, presidential administration academy, 180-day playbook, erosion of democratic norms. So, they trying to basically wipe the Democrat Party out. Um, and that's their goal. So the goal is to put everything in place so that the Democrats won't have a chance like for a long time. Of course, it's about anything that's not the color white. We already have gathered that. Just by seeing how many people of color have lost their job. Like, got a lot of people who lost their job, man. A lot of people been on their job for a long time, man. A lot of people been to school, been to college. A lot of people have dream jobs, national park, bosses, schools, um, Afro-American federal workers of all color. I mean, it's really not a color thing. I say it's a color thing because the color that I am. I believe that this administration don't really care about nobody. They don't really care. They have an agenda. And I don't know how they sleep at night. But obviously they sleep because they write on what they want to do. So, um, it's been set up, and I believe it was set up when he ran the last four. Um, and he put a lot of people in place. So when he come back and win again, he just picked up basically where he left off at. Um, it looked like they trying to crack down because I see, um, a lot of things that We're shutting down. There's some things that I see that, there's some things that I see that, um, it's kind of changing. Um, Miss Crockett, I really like Miss Crockett, man. She was, if you're not familiar with her, um, she does a lot for the people, and she's not the only one, but we need four of them people from across the aisle. And it don't seem like we can get four. I think we had two, um, but we need four of them for sure. And it don't look like, it don't look like they trying to come through and help us. Um, and like I said before, um, if you don't watch the news, um, and if the news makes you sick, or um, it's time to wake up, because it's gonna take a while to get into this, and I'm gonna get into it, and I ain't gonna say stuff on it, but I think it's education, man, that um we need. And people will say, well, I don't really want to watch the news because there's too many murders and there's killings and there's this, there's that, and the president going crazy, and I don't want to see it. You need to see it. You need to see it, because you'll be walking around in the dark, and then when you go to vote and you don't have certain paperwork, certain things they say bring, um, know how to speak. You gotta know your right, because they literally try to take everything that them people work for us to be free. Um, and we'll be free. Um, but it's something to think about, because me as a young man, I'll be 63 tomorrow my birthday, but I'm still young. And I'm like a lot of people, I didn't really get into politics until Obama started running. It's just before he started running. I got a little bit of taste of it from my parents, Elijah Cummings, Kwesi. I used to sing on a choir with Kwesi and Shiloh. So I kind of knew those people, but I never wanted to be a politician. I still don't want to be a politician. I just want to run a podcast and be more educated, um, and talk about some of the things that um, we don't usually talk about, because these are conversations. We are adults now, and because we are adults and we close to retirement age, and some of us have retired, these are subjects that, like for real, playtime is over. We wiser now. Of course, we are a little older, but we are wiser. And when you get wiser, you have to play the game differently. You have to, because everything you work hard for now, it's at stake. So the things that our parents did, we have to do that now. We have to make sure our kids eat. They never grow up. I don't care how old they get. You still gonna have to take care of them. You still gonna have to give them advice, whether it seems like they take it or not. You can never give up on your children. Like the children, it's not a job that you give up on. Yeah, of course they get on your nerve, but you don't give up on them. You don't stop dealing with them. They did the same thing that we did. Most of us didn't listen, but we want them to listen all the time. I listen sometimes. Um, but now, you know, the child becomes the parent and the parent becomes the child. Everybody I know, we right in the middle of that. We in the middle where our children will be in charge and making sure we eat, and changing our diets, and taking us to the doctors, and making sure we have medication and all that kind of stuff. Because that the truth be told, that's how the cycle is. We don't stay young forever, and somebody gonna have to take care of us. So you might want to be a little bit more kinder to your children. And if you haven't built a strong relationship with them, it ain't too late. We all make mistakes, and most people raise their children the way they was raised. And so we make mistakes. Um, but if that's something that you haven't done and you haven't sit down and haven't had that conversation with them, I think you should do that. Because this book is really about their future. It is. It's about their future because they are the new voters. They're gonna be the ones who go to the polls and vote. They're gonna be the ones who run for office. They're gonna be the ones who try or need to be pushed in the right direction to make a difference. So we're not gonna be here. I mean, and we will be affected, but if it keeps going the way it's going now, their future is really gonna be at stake. Um, I don't think we could do 4 years of this nonsense. Now, I was at Allstate. I had the conversation with the lady that was doing voting, and I had to tell her, you know, we shouldn't have went this far to get this late to try to play this game with the Republicans when we was already behind, and the Democrats, we had the House. And we had it. It was stacked. We had it, and I don't think we did anything to keep it. So now, you don't see a lot of protesting because the administration has banned negative publicity for the president. But it's happening, but it's on social media. It's not really on, cause they attack news, radio, cause that's their game. So it's bad. It doesn't look like it's bad. And people like, why they not doing anything? But they doing something. They really doing something. And you have to stay vigilant to see what they doing. So don't be in the dark. Like, it's for much as you gotta watch this. It's so important, man. I'm telling you because it's a matter of life and death. It's gonna come down to either you eat or you go next door and borrow a cup of sugar from somebody, which we are used to doing. We can get some sugar, some salt. We can even get some chicken from next door. I remember when one person used to go to market and everybody used to eat because somebody ain't had no food, right? When we was raised where our neighbors, we was friends with our neighbors. We was raised like that. I didn't want a lot, but my mother would, ask me to go next door and get that sugar or that salt from Miss Lorraine or shoot down Missy house and get some. Or Missy would go to the market and she would ask my mother, did she need something? And, that's how we lived. We lived in a community where everybody helped each other. My mother had two or something and she ain't needed, then somebody in the neighborhood got it. Rose and then we had cookouts and we did stuff as our community was a family. And like I said, we still tight. You see the 1700 block, 1700 block, 16, 15, all that and more, and then we had foreign neighbors. Foreign neighbors are people who just don't live in the community, they just didn't grow up with you. But that's how we grew up. And, it's going to take everybody like to bring this message, man, because listen, it's going to come a time where if you're in position to help someone, you're gonna have to because the turn gonna come. The turn gonna come. And when your turn comes, you're gonna need to help somebody. All right. So it looks like it's 50,000 donors. It's 500,000 donors reported in 2021. Their donations was 122,000. That's the average. Donations was $64 a piece. So God knows. So they long-term support in 2020 alone, they averaged 650,000 to the heritage, to the heritage. So I got that. I don't know how they broke that down. It say millions. So it's a lot of them. And most of them have money. And so then you had the people that just against anything that's not their color, they just jumped on board. Because they going down with the ship. They going with the ship because that's how they was raised. You know, racism is taught, not born. So you have a lot of those people who just jumped on board because their parents was like, if it ain't this color, then if it's not this color, then it's not a part of us. Um, and so we already know racism is deep. It's deep. It's far. It's spreaded wide. It's seen and it's unseen. But one thing I do know for sure is real. Um, and I understand that, racism does not have to be color. It doesn't, it's, I think it's color based, but if somebody don't like you, they just don't like you. Um, now I'm not the expert. This is my view. Um, I'm just bringing it to you from the way I see it. You know, I'm always open for suggestions and I'm always open for correction. Cause we want to do this together. Um, so it was founded in 2010, as a 501c3 full organization that serves as lobbyist aim of Heritage Foundation while legally separated. It works closely with the Heritage to promote conservative policy. That was in 2021. Um, they reported revenue is $11.5 million. That's what's reported. So that's annual. Okay. So you got some heavy hitters over there. You got some heavy hitters over there with a couple of hours. You know what I mean? Um, so I already told you that they're attacking schools. Um, so they're going to attack education, national society, or climate control and environment, health and welfare, international trade, technology, policy, federal buildings, economic freedom, community opportunity, foreign policy, center of freedom, and the center of American study. So that means a lot. Banks and institutions. This thing's serious, man. I'm just skimming through the book. This thing's serious, man. Taxes, selective use of data, which means they're gonna be all in your personal data. They're gonna try to find out where you at, what you doing, how much money you make, who you're affiliated with, who your friends are, local and domestic. It could now I ain't got them really coming at us, but they could, they could. But I'm like, yo, I ain't leaving. You got to kill me on American soil. I mean that with everything in me. You think I'm really gonna let you come get me, take me somewhere? That's just like you ain't really going down Pennsylvania Avenue to grab nobody. I ain't got you going down like the market, not in Baltimore, grab nobody off Deep Street, especially, yeah, okay. And see, my fear is that something is really going to go wrong. Something's going to go wrong because you're going at it the wrong way. Um, our immigration policy, if you, if you come into this country the right way, first of all, if you know anything about history, didn't no one person make America. America was already good. America has never not been great. It's always been great. Um, but you know what America, when they say that, you know what that means, make it great again. You know what's really going on. I don't really have to say it, which, because I don't want to repeat everything that comes to my mind, because we are intelligent enough to know what that really means. When they first said it, we knew what it meant. We just went ahead and went with it, but, you know, Jim Crow did in some places. In some places, he never left. They just hit him. They covered it up. But to let the truth be told, um, you gonna grab some people, but you ain't gonna just start grabbing people, because there's gonna be some bloodshed. And I'm just like, y'all, you just ain't grabbed the right set of people yet. Because once you start grabbing the right set of people, it's gonna be an issue. So, and I hope it don't come down to where it's an uprising, um, because now you taking food out of people's mouth. You know, Social Security, I mean, it ain't like it used to be. You know, we at the bottom of everything because we started late probably. And most of us had AIDS and we don't have the time, or we had the time and don't have the age. So we're gonna be in these trenches working, you know, for a minute. We're gonna have to work and pray our bodies hold up, you know, pray we stay healthy as much as we can, and stay in the game, man, for as long as we can. So I just wanted to bring you a little bit of it. I'm gonna be reading it, and you know, I'm gonna get into it. But the Trump boys aren't, they're not intelligent. They said a lot about the Obamas, but the kids are intelligent. You know, them daughters doing good. Their father's intelligent. You know, their mother is intelligent. Um, they represent themselves, um, in a professional manner. They know how to speak. Um, the president and his children aren't presidentials at all. You know, they ghetto for real. They just in position. When you born with a silver spoon or a gold spoon in your mouth, you don't know what the struggle is. That's why, like I always say, no matter how hard it gets, we're not gonna jump off no bridge. We gonna survive. We're gonna pray. We're gonna ask for help because we've been struggling all our life. So this ain't really new to us. We do this with our eyes closed. We've been doing it all our life. We know how to survive. We've been surviving forever. We've always been behind the 8 ball. Always. Um, we know what that feel like. You know, we work real good under pressure. Always did. Always work good under pressure. All we gonna do is cry, go to church, pray, shout, cry, snot, and then ask for some help, and somebody gonna help us. So we ain't gonna stop trying. We ain't gonna give up. Cause we don't really know what give up is. You know, we always gotta be smarter than the next person. We always had to go to college and get degrees when they don't have to get none. For they 1 degree, you had to get 2. You know, we always use it more at work than the person that's supposed to do it. Most people are more intelligent than they supervise. They supervisor come to us and ask us for our ideas, and they get the credit for it. But we always been doing the work and not getting the credit. We know what that feel like. We already know what the promotion feel like when we ain't get it, but we really earned it and the light skinned person got it, but they really didn't deserve it. We did the work, but they got it. So we know what that feel like. They don't know what that feel like, but we do. And it don't feel good. And we've been in them positions for a long time. And some of us, we still in them positions. But we can't quit our job if things don't go right. We've been treated unfairly. So, I'm gonna get into it a little bit more, you know, and I'll be coming back in full, but I just wanted to have a little brief conversation on like what's going on, you know, even here on the schedule. I'm trying to be in the middle, but I don't feel like moving it right now. I'm feeling my head. Get it up. What you keep saying? Trying to get better. Thinking. Um, so thank you, everybody tuning in. So we're gonna get into the foreign policy. You know, so the foreign policy thing is about trade. And if anybody know anything about trade, trade makes the world go round, basically. Um, trade is like, I got two now, ladies. You got one. Mine tastes better than yours. You know, what we gonna do? Um, they trying to sell dreams that basically not gonna happen. Cause I really don't have Apple move into the United States to do nothing. First of all, it takes too long to build a plant. Second of all, we don't have the technology because we are not the leaders of technology. Clearly, we just not. Um, there's other countries that um, are so brilliant in technology that it's just unreal. A lot of stuff we don't even know. Most of the stuff we get comes from China. Um, it just does. We don't produce enough to make the country run without our foreign partners. Um, and they call allies. And so those little countries, we generally, most administrations that have sent look out for those little countries because those little countries are our spies and our ears and eyes for a lot of things that we need. So we have embassies in different countries because we have Americans all over the world, and a lot of them they protect us from a lot of stuff. They protect us from. So the Center for Disease, the Obama administration had set up. It was pretty nice. It was real nice how they had it set up because they had somebody in all four corners of the country. And what they would do was they would just analyze and study the diseases. Like that's all they did. So we weren't and are not to be subject for diseases because we fought them in foreign countries where poverty is, most diseases it comes from poor countries that can't get medical care. And so if you travel there, with the vaccination shots that most of us get when we are youngsters, which I believe that they work. I believe some of them work. I believe most of them work. I believe polio is a real disease. I believe the measles and the mumps are real. I believe COVID was a known killer and the administration knew and they did not do anything for it or by it. I believe Kennedy is just makes no sense. He is not, in the medical field by no standard point. He has no medical point of view and he do not understand medicine or medication. People need medication to live. The side effects that can kill you, I believe that. But some people need medication, a lot of people, not some, they need medication to survive. Aspirin, if you have thick blood, you might need to take one. So you can't tell me that they don't work. They high as hell in the hospital, but they work. They gotta work. I know they work. Um, so you have people who just have no education. No, education is key. People don't go to school and become professors because there ain't nothing else to do. They become professors because this stuff is real. It's true. It's not fake news. It makes sense to me if I cut my foot, then I need something that's going to stop me from getting my daggone foot cut off. That makes sense to me. I need stitches and I need sutures and I need people who can work on your heart medication and all of that stuff. And people that's on dialysis. Dialysis is real, man. It prolongs life. Some people get on dialysis and then they get off of it, So they did the type of things that they trying to take. They trying to take medication and, medication is hard enough to get. Some people can't even afford medication. So now you going at the healthcare when the people in the White House, they don't pay for medication. They have some of the best health plans in the world. The world. So these are things that, we're going to have to educate ourselves with, they marching with flags. They marching with all kinds of flags. They marching. And they only going to go but so far. A couple towns, it just ain't going there. They found two of them people didn't work out so well in Atlanta. They went to the park, they was dressed. Didn't make out so well. but they went, but they didn't make out so well. It wasn't good for them. It just wasn't good for them. So, to say all that and just to sum that up, we have to be vigilant. I watch a lot of programs. I watch a lot of news on a lot of different programs. I really don't watch the local news. I'm more of an international guy. I watch international news because I get a better perspective and a better broad and a better understanding of, what's really going on with Palestine how they fighting and what that's really about, um, and how that came about, um, our foreign people who not here, who in the country, however they in the country, whether they ain't here illegally or whether they here. I mean, if you was running from something and you know what's a better place to run to, I'm quite sure you could run to. It's just that we here and we just been blessed to be here. But on the other hand, without them, we not gonna really eat because they make sure we eat. They do our farm. They raise animals. They make sure we eat. You know, all the farming that we don't do and we don't understand and that we don't know not how to do. And supermarkets get packed because some people work some farms, right? So a lot of farms are, you know, gonna suffer. A lot of farmers gonna suffer because most of their staff come from a different country and their visas allow them to come here during harvest season and then they go back. They rotate. And for those who don't know that, that's how we eat. They plant, they harvest, they go back, they come back and forth. And some of them are coming here for years. And so now they're not here because they're afraid. They're afraid to go to work. They just attack the farm and lock them people up, man. And the farm owner's like, oh my goodness, like how we gonna eat now? So, um, you had some people saying that's good for them. That's not good because everybody gonna be affected. That's bad. That's really bad because that's what they get. That's what they get. That's what we get. Because if they get it, we gonna get it. So it's not like, um, I'm not protesting with them because he told them to vote and they didn't vote and that's what they get. And when you saying that's what they get, you gotta remember we're a part of that's what they get because all of us in this together. This is not split. It's not a black and white, Mexican, Hispanic. It's not an issue with color. It's an issue with people and people's lives are at stake. Um, it's serious. It's serious. It's really serious. And it's just a conversation, man, that, it's going to be a regular conversation at the dinner table. It's going to be regular at the dinner table. Dinner table going to be like it used to be back in the day. When we sit down and eat, it's going to be real conversation. You know how your parents used to be at the table and you would be sitting there and they be talking about stuff and you had no idea what they were talking about? Some days get ready to come back. You ready to have round table discussion. The community gonna have to get closer. The kids, they gonna get themselves together. They're a little wild. They wild like we were. They ain't really that much different than us. It was the same stuff that was going on. I mean, that's going on now. It was going on when we was growing up. The mouth was off the hook. Murphy Homes was great. Pennsylvania Avenue was the same way. Emerson Avenue, we ain't even gonna talk about what went on Emerson Avenue. Holbrook and Huffman. Everybody know the city. The city is a whole lot. The stuff that was going on when we was growing up, to be honest with you, this is a playground. If anybody lived back in the day. Let the truth be told. The only difference is that we just a little older and now we on the outside looking in. The difference is when we was in the inside, we couldn't look out. But now we older and we just looking at what's going on. And it seems wild. I had to tell myself. Pastels and Giovanni's and Odell's and Volcanoes was off the chain back in the day. Y'all know. Don't act like that. Y'all know. So, you have to, you just have to understand that healthcare is on that list. Um, and you have to understand that who is behind the Heritage Foundation. So when I come back, man, I'm gonna get into the dude Paul Dane, um, Casey James, that's a former president of various government policies, has been influenced. Um, and it's a couple people on here that we're gonna put on blast and we're gonna talk about. Um, going back to Artscape, I had a couple conversations with some people, and they were saying they prefer for it to be where it was. And you know, I think change is always good for somebody. And those that don't like change, I don't know, but I think nothing stays the same. Um, nothing stays the same all the time. And I think that one of the reasons that they moved it was because um, people, I think it's close on people property. People feel park in their neighborhood. It's a lot of trash. It was a lot of noise. Um, I kind of liked it where it was. I really did. It was bigger, I believe. Um, they downsized it. I mean, this is the first year that they moved it, so I'm quite sure next year it should be a little bigger. It should be a little bigger next year. I'm quite sure that they're gonna have more people next year. That is something I don't know I ain't ready to. It's gonna be bigger next year. Um, it's gonna be bigger next year. Um, so I kind of did like where it was. Um, but I understand that they said that it's gonna rain. It usually rain every year when we have it. So, you know, that was another reason why they changed it because it was gonna rain. And I just think they wanted a new location for real. So, that was in the man. I don't know what it is. So they moved it, and I guess they moved it because they wanted to move it. I'm looking at my, I'm looking at me over here on live. So lost y'all comment. I don't even have to. Hopefully come back. Oh, see. My fault. Excuse me. Um, so the entertainment was good. I think the mayor, Mr. Scott, did a good job. Pork chop is a fool. You need help. Pray for pork chop. Pork chop is such an entertainer, but he did a good job. I think he did a good job. Um, local cat. It was a lot of us, you know, a lot of us represented. I think they helped us financially a lot, which is good. It look, we sticking together, which is good. I like the fact that it was a lot of us. A lot of us was vendors. The art looked pretty good for the first year at the new location. It was good. You have hospitals down there where it was. The police department is down there. Think you can get quicker if somebody gets hurt or help or something. Everything is right there. I believe it was more contained, um, and it wasn't a lot of confusion. So I was down there the last day. I couldn't make it that Saturday. I was burnt out. I was so tired. So I couldn't make it, but what I did see was good. It was nice, man. I think it was nice. And people really got along good. I didn't see no dirt bikes, motorcycles. Of course, they were smoking a little weed, but I didn't see a lot of drinking and a lot of liquor bottles and a lot of beer trucks. It was well put together. So to that crew who did the artscape and all the planning, because there's a lot of work that goes into it. Let me commend y'all. I think y'all did a great job. To the man, you all right with me. Uh, I'm quite sure being a man gotta be a tough job. I mean, it probably looked easy. You probably say you could do a better job, but I'm quite sure it's a tough job. Um, and a lot of times we criticize people, man. People do the best they can. And that's gotta be a tough job, man. It's gotta be. He's a young man, he's Afro-American, give him a chance and let him do his thing, man. He's gonna make some mistakes and we all make mistakes. So, get your foot off his neck. Um, so that's where I'm at with that. So we'll see how that works out next year. They said the preaching was nice, so that's good. Park Heights gonna be something beautiful. Um, it's gonna be for everybody who can afford it. I'm gonna throw that in there because I think that's how that is because for those of you that don't know, um, Pimlico is quite a special place, man. That's the second leg to the Triple Crown. Yeah, it's the second leg to the Triple Crown. So yeah, that's a real special, expensive place, and we are fortunate to have that in our community. We are really fortunate to have that, and I like to thank Jack. Jack say that, man. Jack had a lot to do with that thing, and so did Sheila. Now beyond that, I don't know what Mr. Smoke done, but I know them two people had their hand in it heavy, so we need to commend them. I don't know if Mr. Pugh had a hand in it though, but I clearly know those two people had their hand in it. I think lot, um, a lot of people before don't get credit for the work that they done. A lot of work that happened pri- prior and past administrations set it up, and the offset was a couple years, and so it's just coming through. So a lot of that stuff that's happening now, our present mayor, that's a lot of that stuff is already put in place, man. And that's how that administration works sometimes. People leave and they put stuff in place. And so when the next man gets them, a lot of stuff happens. Some of them take credit of them and some of them give homage to the ones who put it in place before they got there. To let people know like this was in place before I got here. It's just coming to the forefront. I ain't really had nothing to do with it. Some people say that, some people take credit. You need for that. But it was a couple buildings that was open during Artscape I'd never been in before. So the War Memorial, I don't think I've ever been in there. I think that was my first time that I ever really been in there. It's always seemed like it's closed to me. So I had a chance to go in there and run around. Which was good. This was good. To the birthday people, if you having a birthday or have one, happy birthday to you. So this book, man, it's a go-getter. I'm gonna get into it some more. I'm gonna read a couple chapters and I'm gonna come back. Um, that border patrol and that immigration, man, and that U.S. citizenship, the Federal Emergency Management, that's that FEMA. So if you get caught in a hurricane or your house was blown away, they don't have to fix it no more. That don't make no sense. Relief fund. If our foreign allies who can't eat and who don't have aid, they can't get aid because they cut the money off to the people who supposed to get aid. So those little countries we feed. and we feed them because we can, and we cut down on poverty because we are able to feed them. They won't get fed no more. So can you imagine? Because I can't imagine how it feels that had to go from here to God knows where for how many days with a pot so you can fill up some rice and give me something to eat. And then when I get there, it's no rice there. I don't know how that feels. I don't know how it feels for everything around me to be tore down. Like I live in a brickyard. I don't know what that feels like, but I'm quite sure it's not like I can just get up and go get something to eat and just come back, or I can just call somebody and tell them or suggest to them that I'm hungry and I haven't ate and they gonna feed me. You know, it's people in the world who can't do that. They don't have no phone. They don't have nobody to call. They don't know where their next meal gonna come from. They haven't ate in a couple of days. They stomach touching their back. So, you know, that's just, man, that's the worst. And so that's what's really going on. That's what's really going on. So those countries that need our help, man, they just let 100 trucks go in, but 100 trucks and you ain't ate in God knows when. And then you had the rebels that's taking the food from the villages because there's always a gangster somewhere. So you got the gangsters that's taking the food before it's supposed to get you to destination. They robbing the truck. So, you know, it's a mess. It's a mess in a lot of parts of the country. And so, you know, to piggyback on this 2025, that 2025, it does all of that. It goes into the SNAP program. If anybody know about the SNAP program, it goes into the SNAP program. It goes into the WIC program. It goes into the conservation program. That's the USDA. Um, it goes into a brew. So if you are a brew and you call the hotline, it's non-existent no more. That's part of the suicide hotline. So if there's something going on, you got a crisis, and somebody said they're gonna jump in front of the train, and somebody be on that other end of the phone trying to save somebody's life, it's not gonna be there. Um, the DOE, that's the emergency department. Um, that's the agriculture department. That's the USDA. They're going for the Veterans Affairs, Transportation Department, Labor Department, Housing and Urban Development. That's where we live at. They're going for the EPA, the Justice Department. That's the DOJ. Um, of course, the ED, that's the Education Department. Um, so they trying to lead us. Of course, they're going for climate control. They're trying to take anything that's not born the agenda of the military, which because you like what you like don't make you weak. Um, and because you like what you like don't mean that you gonna snitch. It don't mean you gonna shout. Um, I don't know why people born one way and they choose to don't like the way they was born. That's not my job. But I don't think that you should be um banned from whatever you want to do because your view and your point of view is not like mine. The, the, um, the option of freedom is to be the person that you want to be and not be the person that I want you to be. Because that's not what freedom's supposed to be in this country. So now, you trying to tell me what, I can be. So if I'm not what you want me to be, then it's a problem. So we're gonna get into this. So they trying to reform with, um, they trying to move the work of the food and nutrition service. So they trying to shift food stamps. Now, some people need food stamps, like for real. Some people need them, some people abuse them, whatever. It's free. It's our money. Um, what disturbs me is that, um, you can steal all the money you want to from, cause a lot of people got rich off our back. So, let's not forget that. Let's not forget every inventor was of a certain color. So let's not forget that. Let's not forget that they hid our heritage and they still hide. Let's not forget that they want to erase our identity. Let's not forget that we are so intelligent that we are smart beyond imagine without a lot of stuff that other people have. Um, let's not forget that we know what the struggle is, and I promise you, everything we work for double for the other person who didn't work for it. Um, so what I stay amazed about is, no matter what you try to do, we still ride. I'm just amazed. I'm just amazed. I'm just amazed. I'm just amazed by it. So for some reason, they are so afraid of us. So afraid. Anytime you wanna take everything that we have all worked for and voted for. If you going back to our ancestors, let the truth be told, if you could do black and white water fountains, you would. I promise you would, because that's what you're really trying to do. When you get into this 2025, it takes us back to Jim Crow. You'd have went into our black historical societies and dismantled them. You move educated black people from positions that they clearly earned. Um, you sign paperwork that's illegal. You went against every law in the country. You went against the highest court. You just doing what you want to do at this point. You just doing what you want. And you just doing what you want at this point. But I think we get ready to go up for re-election. I'll bring you back that information because you just flipped the red state blue. I don't have it in front of me. I'll do a little bit more. And I'll get back with you on that. So they putting the 10 Commandments in a couple of schools. Um, they passed that bill. It hasn't hit here yet. So they're going after the Office of Career, Technical and Adult Education. So that means, you know what that means, special education and rehabilitative services. How you go after somebody who needs special aid? This thing, man, laws and regulations, charter schools and civil rights data collection. So that means all our heritage that's on data, all out artifacts and stuff like that, it could be at risk. Office of Civil Rights, Office of Federal Student Aid, Institute of Education. So you going after student aid. That's only a couple of hours. If it's just a couple of hours, but I was listening to some other people talk, and a couple of hours help, man. Because you can wash your clothes and you can go to market if you're on campus, or that little bit of money help, man. Um, um, this thing is this project 2025 is a big deal. It's a big deal, man. Um, I'm not the I'm far from a scholar, I would say. Um, but I'm intelligent in my own right. I don't have degrees and none of that, but I'm just smart. I ain't slow. I'm not slow all the time. I might be a little slow sometimes, but not all the time. So I'm gonna get into this for y'all, and I got some people that's gonna help me. Um, but this thing, man, chapter 20 of Veteran Affairs, um, Department of Commerce, you go to the Department of Commerce, that's a whole different level. Department of Treasury, you trying to go after. Um, you trying to import banks, so import and export banks. That's money if you have money in a foreign bank. Um, I got to get into that. Now, I can't have money in a foreign bank, but you can. I can't have a foreign name after me, but you can, which should be illegal. It is illegal. Small Business Administration. So we going after the Small Business Administration, and we going after the 501c3. We going after them. We gonna shut them down. Um, free trade. We going after free trade. Um, but you still gonna have lobbyists, but you going after free trade. Independent regulations, and agencies, which is communication. Communication will be like TV, radio, anything that has anything to do with informing the public or the people. I gotta shut you down because I don't want you to know the truth. So I gotta shut you down. That's why you haven't seen a lot of negative stuff about the president, because certain news people can't come in the White House no more. So if I ban you and you can't get no data on me, and if I close down everything and keep everything secret, hush hush, and just run it through the house and run it through my people, and we hurry up and get it through 5 years from now, and you ain't paying attention, and you go to do something, and you like, wow, I ain't know they done that. Yeah, you remember you said you weren't worried about it and it wasn't going to affect you. And I came and I said that you need to pay attention, and then you don't pay attention and you get to the airport and you don't have the proper stuff and you not already paid for your trip, and now you the only one getting sent back home because you refuse to pay attention. Forget the draft. I don't care about the draft. I don't care about the NFL. People gonna be who they want to be. You see what they did to Tucker, but you gotta understand how they did it to Tucker. They let Tucker off the hook easy. They ain't let the other kid leave off the hook easy. They tore his name up, put them all on camera, banned him from the NFL. I don't think Tucker gonna get banned from the NFL. He just rode away like on a horse, on to the sunset. Allegations, he rolled out. you know, and that be the stuff that, disturbs me because if, if you're going to do something, then everybody should be treated the same way. But it's not like that. And a lot of times we ain't surprised. We just can't believe it's continuously happening. We ain't surprised about the stuff that happens, but we just keep saying, wow, y'all just really, like all we did was be born. But did we really do something to you to piss you off? You know, I just get disturbed, man. So this a really nice book. If you get a chance to pick up this 2025, it's 900 some pages in here. You got the labor market in here, the labor department, tax and power, Federal Reserve. You got them in here. I said education. You got healthcare in here, citizenship, electoral process. So you know what that means. I'm trying to run after my time up. So I'm trying to change something so I can stay in a dictatorial or be a dictator so I can stay in his chair. So that's what that means. You got a lot. Watch that. The census. Census are real important because that's where we get our money from. We get our money off of the census. The census are very important. Civil rights and equality. Oh my God. That means when I go to the poll, you might try to stop me from voting. Civil rights means you trying to take all my rights as a person. It ain't just black. Immigration. I don't know why you even messing with the veterans. Law enforcement, you want them to do anything to you, and you can't take them to court. So, if they word against yours and you don't have no rights, so you gotta watch out for that. Cause you're gonna need that. Um, I'm gonna see what this transportation thing is about. I'm gonna have to read that, that one about transportation, because, so in the back, it talks about what you could do. It talks about staying informed, educate yourself about the powers of disease outlined in Project 2025. Follow Republican news sources, read in-depth analysts and with the experts. Stay updated on development. Discuss implement, implementation of 2025 with friends, family, and colleagues. Use social media to communicate forward. Discuss our Project 25 with friends. Yeah, okay. Raise awareness about the potential impact of these policies. The more people understand what is at stake, the stronger the collective derive awareness about the potential impact of these policies. The more people understand what is at stake, the stronger the opposition can be. Okay. Participate in local, state, and federal vote. Candidates who oppose racial change, racial change proposed by Project 2025 and who support the Democrat include an equitable, what I mean. Encourage others to vote and help mobilize vote turnout. support advocate groups, contribute to and volunteer with organizations that work to protect civil rights, protected rights, and the environment and other critical areas threatened by the Project 25. These groups play a vital role in lobbying against harmful environmental um, situations and other critical areas threatened by the Project 2025. These groups play a vital role in lobbying, fact check, be vigilant about spreading false information, verify facts before sharing, and use trusted sources to continue disinforming, educating others, disinforming, educating others about the importance of the critical thinking and media is essential in this fight for to continue. Educate others. It's important in critical thinking and media literacy is essential in this fight. Your voice matters. By taking action, you can help safeguard Democrats and prevent the implementation of policies that could dramatically destroy the fabric of America's society. Now that you have a deeper understanding of the Project 2025, it's time to stand up and make a difference. Engage in participants, activists, and ensure your voice counts. So, they saying that, like I've been talking for the last couple of minutes, they saying that, this book came out late or got to me late, because, in our community, we really, my sister a politician. I ain't never been no politician. You know, I did other stuff like ride skateboards. I ain't had time for that. But my sister and my aunt, my mother, my dad, um, they always stayed in that civil rights fight. And so I guess, no, I ain't guessing. I'm quite sure. I'm more than sure my interest came from there. But I never could see me on a platform like this really trying to make a difference. Um, I never could see that, but a lot of times you can't see what God got planned for you. You just stay in the game and interest in itself or the creator, whatever you choose to call the person or the power that you believe in. Because I want you to believe in what you believe in. Don't believe in what I believe in. Because my mind changed like everybody else. And if I think too long, I think I'm doing all this on my own. I'm clearly wrong. It won't go with me. Um, but I just wanted to kind of get into this book, and I'm gonna fall back and forth into it. And I'm gonna get into some other stuff. But I just think that this is very important. It's needed for those who need a clear understanding of what's about to really try to take place. Um, it's serious. And it's time to wake up. TV not gonna give you all of it. You're gonna get some of it. Some of it you're not gonna get. You have to go to the platform like the Democracy Now! Or um, one of those farm channels. Amy Goodman, Juan Gonzalez, Dr. K gonna spit something to you. She gonna make you scared though, so I can't do too much with Dr. K because Dr. K be making me, I don't know. I be like, Doc, you going in too hard, baby. You had to talk about something else for like 10 or 15 minutes. You going hard. Dr. K, he's one of my favorites. Heard my man Donnie Glover. I like to give out to my brother from another mother, Mr. Glover. That's my man. Um, Mr. McCormick. Hey, Mr. McCormick. That's my dude. Um, and a couple other fellas that I know in this game right here called Information. Um, so we're gonna get into that. So the Pike, if anybody familiar with the Pike on Town Road, they doing movies. Well, he doing old movies for $10. The number is 667-273-4808. It's a Pike Cinema. Mr. Johnson up there. And you could call and you can get yourself old school $10 movie. Um, hold on, let me put something. Hold on. Getting a little thirsty. That's too tight for me. I'll drink something on camera. So, give me a sec. I can't keep talking and drinking. So, this project, yeah, man. Um, it's trying to be a divide. It's a distraction. I think it's something that the Republicans always try to split the world. Um, the rich won't stay rich. They want to keep us poor forever. Um, and it's gonna be a challenge. It's gonna be a challenge. It's gonna be a challenge for a lot of people. And it's already a challenge for a lot of people because a lot of good people, man, lost their job. And some of them got their job back, and some of them didn't get their job. And a lot of people struggle. A lot of people train. And a lot of people caught up and can't believe that they worked all their life and now everything they own is flashing in front of their face. They about to lose. And that's a terrible thing, man. Like when somebody just come and just snatch everything you worked hard for greed. Like you have an enemy just because you're a certain or in a certain position. You you have an enemy, um, and you doing a good job, a heck of a job, and you earned your job. You went to school all them years, man. You still got school loans to pay. Um, and then somebody just comes and snatch the American dream from you. Is you serious? It's a tough thing, man. It's tough. And, I mean, we was warned, but that's past tense. So we was warned by enough people. We was warned by enough people, but it was already in place. And I believe they was asleep. They was asleep. The enemy don't sleep. The enemy come to kill, steal, and destroy. It's already been written. And it was written for a reason. The reason it was written so you could pay attention, man. And so I guess the enemy is here. Um, Racism ain't no new thing to us. We've been here before. And like I said, we'll get through it, but I don't know how far we're going to be set back. And I don't know how long it's going to take us to reverse everything that's coming down the pipe. Because it's a lot at stake. And it's so much at stake that we don't even know what's at stake because some of the stuff, some of the executive orders have not actually went into policy yet, but they will. And some of them going to make it. All of them ain't going to make it, but God forbid if the ones make it that people for so many years, people died for us to have a platform. People died for this. People marched, went homeless, and, their house got burned down. Their children were sacrificed, man. And for us to just speak or spit the truth or speak what you want. And so you had to ask yourself, is freedom free? Old folks used to say, there's no such a thing as free. Everything you had to work for. I remember them saying, it's a new day and time. As a people, we need to wake up. If you own a building and your services are not geared to us, I suggest you find somebody just like us so we can eat, because that the truth be told, they're going to make sure they own eat, and we're going to need to make sure that our own eat. That's the type of game that we need to be playing right now. It ain't personal, but, some other people from all them other nationalities, and I ain't going to call them nationalities, because everybody on this page, we all grown. So we know what time it is, but they going to make sure they people eat. We need to make sure our people eat. So if your contract for a church or a business ain't geared to us, we cut grass, we clean houses, we do roofing, we do carpentry work, we babysit, we clean pools, we scrub floors, we scrub walls, we paint, we do sheetrock, we do all that. We fix cars. I suggest the way it's going that we send our business to those people. So all you mega church people, yeah, y'all too, that got them people cutting y'all grass and doing y'all lawn, it has to be somebody in your church that runs a landscaping business like myself that need to be trying to get that contract because we need to eat. And the only way we going to eat is we have to look out for our own so we can eat. Because I'm getting tired of us feeding everybody else. I go get my nails done, and the place I go get my nails done, I probably won't be going there no more. Because my people gotta eat. I go get my feet done. I'm at to find me somebody in my color to do my feet. This ain't personal. So we gonna have to eat. And the only way we gonna eat is we gonna have to stick together. It ain't personal. Because when they don't pick us, guess what they tell us? This ain't personal. It ain't personal. It's just the way it is. And yeah, the narrative is that we don't stick together. We do. We do. We do. You ain't gonna tell me that. Because a lot of us stick together. A lot of days we stick together. And a lot of us don't cross each other. So you ain't gonna tell me that we cross each other, because we don't. It's a whole bunch of us that love each other, that do anything. I'll do damn near anything for my friends and family. I will. I'm reliable. I'm trustworthy. I ain't gonna steal nothing from you. I ain't gonna hate on you. If you get something and I don't have it, I pray I'm gonna ask you how you get it, and I'm gonna pray that you help me. I ain't gonna talk about you. I ain't gonna try to take nothing from you. And a lot of us do that. So all of that, we don't stick together. That ain't what that really is. That's what somebody want us to believe, but it clearly ain't true. So I said that to say that that's what it's coming down to. Just like you see all of them to work together, all of us need to start working together. I'm gonna have to just stick with my people. I'm a landscape. I make sure my people take care of me. My clients pay me. My clients appreciate everything I do for them. And I appreciate them because they make sure I eat. Um, like I said, you got some black hairstylists out there. You need to go sing. You need to work with them. They need to work with you. If they price it too high, then you need to tell them that I really want you to have my business and what can we do because I'm tired of feeding them other people. Because of the truth be told, we keep the country running. We bring the most money. Listen, you know Mondana Mall is one of the most cash malls in Maryland. It's mostly cash. That mall brings a lot of cash money. So we can almost collect Target. Now we working on Walmart. So we bring a lot to the table. We do. I like to thank everybody for watching, believing in me. It's a process. I'm gonna get better. Somebody had to do it. I don't mind doing it. I got a lot of support, so I'm probably gonna be good at it. But I just need everybody to be on one page, man. You know, of course, we gonna have our ups, we gonna have our downs. We hearing, but you know, as a whole, I think uh, we doing good. We just need to be better. We need some else to cut our grass and do our nails and do our hair. Because, you know, it needs to be some black salons around here that do nails. So y'all need to send me y'all stuff. And one day I'm going to do a list of all Afro-American people who do all the services that we give our money to somebody else. I need that list. I need y'all information. I need to make y'all prices compatible. And anything black, that's where we need to go. We need to go there. Because there's going to come a time where you have to spend our money with us. Because they ain't spending their money with us. They don't work with us. You don't see them around us. Most construction sites don't have us in them. Most nail salons don't have us in them. And if we eat qualified, they still don't want to give us a job. And we got the paperwork. Half of them don't have the paperwork. They was trained by somebody in there. So you gotta understand that, man. A lot of times I think we handicap ourselves because we don't support each other. And it's stinking there anyway. They got masks on, we don't have none. Now she do my nails good, but I'ma probably go to somebody else that's my color because the person my color need my money more so than them. And you know, that's gonna be something that I'ma push. I'ma push it. I'ma push it every time you see me. Go get your car washed by somebody that run a car wash. There's a whole bunch of us that got mobile car wash. We'll give you the same deal a month that they give you. And we'll come to your house. And it's gonna be that little stuff. It don't have to be nothing big, but it's gonna be that little stuff that we gonna have to do. And like I say, send me your stuff and I'm gonna push it. I'm gonna push it every day. You need a black entertainer. I got one right on here, right here. She sing, she pray. She gonna do what she gotta do. She gonna play the tambourine. She gonna bring it. And she good at what she do. And she's still ill and she still do it. So, I'm gonna push that. I got a black engineer on my line. I have a hairstylist on my line. I have a black entertainer on my line. And, there's some other people on here that, can fulfill any household need. I have a lady that does houses. He does a great job. Um, so I need that information. I'm gonna put the information out there because everybody need to eat. So this Project 25, this shit like slavery day, modern slavery. It's a mess. It's a mess, man. Um, and if you don't know how to pray, you gonna need to. But this platform is for this is where I know how to pray. Listen, I'm my mother's child. Of course I know how to do that. I was raised in the thing. And I ain't never trying to get away from it. Anyway, so listen. I'm gonna get back into this. I have I'm gonna give you them times when I'm coming on this week. I'm going with this next subject. I'm not even I'm not even gonna tell you what this next one gonna be, but this next one for the men and women. All right, I'll tell you what it is. I'm gonna get into menopause because men don't think that men only think women go through menopause, but I'm getting ready. I'm getting ready. I'm getting ready to shock y'all with the symptoms that men go through with menopause, and we're gonna run through. Um, I'm gonna run through some symptoms and um, some stuff that women and how they are affected by menopause. And most men don't really understand like what that is. It's terrible for a woman. Um, it's terrible. It's very difficult. It's hard. Um, it's an imbalance. It's really no cure for it. It's terrible. So we're gonna get into that. And I got some expert women coming that suffer with it. Um, and we're gonna get into that a little bit. That's just a nice topic. I think after that we're gonna do some bereavement. We're gonna get into a little bit bereavement and bereavement counseling, where you can go for help. Um, like I say, I know Mother's Day is past, Veterans Day is past. And so people think about people who have passed on, and um, that could be a daily thing, man. Because death is, I don't think some people ever get over the loss of a loved one. It's tough. I think about a lot of people every day that brought so much to my life, and it's not so much that um, I can't function because they're not here. A lot of times I get joy, or a lot of times when they used to say stuff to me like, "You won't understand what I'm saying till I'm dead and gone," and that I understand, and that saying is so true because they not here no more. And it took me all of that time. I remember my parents telling me stuff. I was a young boy, a teenager, and they would say that. And God behold, 40, 50 years later, man, I'm just understanding what they saying, and they not here. So I get it. And then sometimes I don't get it. Because the longer you live, or the longer I live, the more I think I know, the less I know. I'm trying to work on saying, I need to put a word, I need to put a word right there. I don't know, but, see, I did it again. I don't know. Who. I don't know. Who. I don't know why I got this as part of my DNA or something. I have to carry the defect or something. I'll work on it. I'll work on it. The word, what can I say? You know, my good friend Sharon, she doesn't curse it. There's stuff like sugar, syrup, jalapeno, so she'll, she'll give me something. I love her. She'll give me something to put there. Hey, Carver, how you doing? Hey, Mr. Burgers. Hey, Mike. Hey, Ann. Hi, Rhonda. What's up, Davis? Um, so, it's gonna take a lot of strength with this 2025 because you don't know what area you're gonna be affected and you don't know when you're gonna be affected. You know, you could go to work today and everything, all right, and you can go to work tomorrow and it be total chaos. You might wake up and get to work and the doors be closed. You might wake up and get to work and your security clearance don't work on. You might get to work and they might just tell you get up and leave. You might get to work and your desk ain't even where you could be no more. Your whole staff gone. And you be the only one in the meeting, like, like what's going on. So, and it talks about it in this book, it talks about staying informed, which means, get with your supervisor. Try to get the inside scoop, you know, um, do your own research. Make sure your job is secure. Make sure you have a plan B, C, and D. Um, make sure your children are secure because when you go through something, believe it or not, your children are affected. And they can tell when there's something wrong with their parents. Um, you'd be surprised how aware children are because we are their first teachers and we their first leaders. And so they look at us and they study us a lot. And your child would say, Mommy or Daddy, they'll say to you what's wrong. And you'll try to play it off and they be like, oh, nothing. But they can sense it. They can sense it. So never think that the children are too old or too young for the conversation. The pitch is that you get them while they're young, so when they get older, those conversations won't be fun. And my mom used to always talk to me about that. You know, what I need you to do when I'm not here. I was a young kid. I ain't want to hear them. I ain't want to hear nothing about my parent leaving here. And I couldn't see my mother going nowhere. It was 30, 40 years after. She taught me what to do before she left. Thank God she taught me what to do because when she left, I was mature enough to carry out what she had been preaching to me all my life. So what I was afraid of, he made me not afraid of. And I can remember her saying, life is just a part of death. And I'm not going to be here one day. And when I ain't here, I need you to carry on. And it was hard to swallow that pill. And I was like, my mother ain't going to rest for another 40 years. You know how soon 40 years came? 40 years came like it was 2 years. Like I grew up like overnight and I found me and my sister at this place where we was making arrangements for my mother. And I felt my mother's spirit in the room because she had prepped me all my life. And I was young. And she say, Mom, why we gotta talk about that? He said, cause it's important. And I'm gonna keep talking to you until you get comfortable with it. Little did I know, what she really was doing for me. And it helped me. So I don't want you to think that um, your child is too young for that. Your child is never too young. I think it's the way you put the conversation. And she didn't uh, ram it down my throat, gave it to me at all times. He slid it in every chance he got. He slid it in there. I ain't gonna be here one day. She said, "No, why you keep saying that? I ain't gonna be here one day either." She said, "You trying to be smart." I say, "No, you trying to be smart." And we would chuckle about it, but I got comfortable with that conversation. Um, and I said that to say this Project 25, if you have teenagers, if you have children that's in school, they financial aid could be affected because if they take that money, them rich schools gonna get their money and then we not gonna get it, which means the rich won't pay for school at all and we will. So, um, you have to look at that, because education is on a chopping block. And you have to understand why education is on the chopping block because they don't want us to be smart. We smart without paper. You're going to give us a book and we're going to be smarter than you when you've been trying to hold us down for how many years? So now they're going to chop education. When you chop education, already chop federal job. It's a lot of black federal workers. Even though it's a lot of federal workers across the board, of all different nationalities because everybody makes up the USA. Ain't no one person make up the USA. And you have to understand white is not, it's a word, not a nationality, it's not a culture of people. White is a made up word because they had to make up something. So they try to make up something that's just a color. And they try to put it in front of everything. And you gotta remember, they stole everything. They got rich off our back and other people back. I mean, we wasn't the only one. The Jews went through something too now. So when we talk about history, only people who really didn't go through anything was those people. Uh, we went through a lot. And a lot of times we forget that it was other people, the other nationalities, the Indians, they got everything stole from them. The Jews got robbed, black people got robbed, Hispanic people got robbed. And like I said in my earlier conversation, if you want to turn down, if not for them, we won't eat. Cause we ain't picking watermelons and we're not, and they are a vital part of the food chain. Vital. Very important. And they smart, so they are very important, and like I said, they get the visas, they come, they cultivate, they leave, they come back, they plant, they grow, they come back, they plant, they grow, they harvest, they leave. We need them. You can't take them away from us. I don't give a damn if they belong here or not belong here. They make sure our children eat. Because somebody got to watch them farm. Somebody got to milk them cows. And that's not saying that there's no Afro-American or black farmers, but everybody is in this thing together. Ain't nobody gonna win. Ain't nobody gonna win if we don't all stick together. I just need us to stick together as a group of people more so than anybody else. And that's not excluding, anybody. And, I ain't saying our race better than no other race. I could say that, but I ain't really racist for real. Not for real, for real. I mean, I might be a little bit, but not for real. Cause I believe the country belongs to everybody who get here legally. And if you running from another country and you got here legally and you here and you can eat and you can take care of yourself and and you do the necessary paperwork to stay here, because we have rules and regulations, then you should be able to stay here. Because it say we the people. It don't say no one person. Constitution talks about we. We meaning a group of people decided to make this country better for everybody. That's where the we come from. It don't say one person, not Republican or Democrat. It's we. It's us. So I just think that we need to stay more vigilant. International religion and freedom. So now you want to go after religion. Global health. And now, I talked about the global health. That's so the countries that can't eat, because we are in position to feed them. Without those Mexican people, we can't feed foreign countries. Because they are the ones who make sure that our partners, in foreign countries, they make sure them people eat. So if we don't have people coming over here, then the foreign countries don't eat. And so then we don't eat. And so then the trade war is a game that we're going to probably lose, because Canada was like, I don't care, because we don't really need the United States. We have our own stuff. China don't really care because they one of our biggest imports. Without them, we will surely lose. For real. We don't produce enough to fool with China. Our export and import aren't nowhere near what China brings to this. Everything you buy, it says China. Some stuff says USA. We not that type of country. That's not what we good at. So now you going after somebody who really could survive off the, them countries need us, but we need them so much more than we need them. We don't produce enough. You never did, really. I mean, it's a give and take. And that game right there, we're gonna lose. We'll lose that game. Apple not coming here to build nothing. That's crazy. Manufactured plants aren't coming back. That's the game. The game is to build plants. If I take your education, you're not smart no more. You gotta go on the plant and work. That's not gonna happen, because we don't want to work in no plant. It's gonna turn. I don't know when it's gonna turn, but it will. Like I said earlier, we need them people across the aisle, but we only need 4 of them. We have 2, so technically we need 2 more. I believe we'll get them. I believe we'll get them in time. In time, we'll get them. So we did the farm aid, we did housing. They did everything. Like, listen, man, listen. If you go after religion, you telling me I can't talk about the cross. Cause I don't want to go, you know, I don't really want you to know I'm a real PK, so I'm gonna hold back on that, right? I'm gonna hold back. And I ain't gonna let you get that. All right? I ain't gonna, I mean, you trying to tell me I can't talk about the blood. I can't talk about Calvary. I'm gonna have a problem if I can't talk about Calvary and, 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 uh, and them 3 cross. I'm gonna have a problem with that. And whatever religion you believe in, you should have a problem with it too. When they say you can't talk about who you believe you put your trust in and your everything in, when it's nobody else to turn to, and you turn to that source that helps you to get through a day when there's nobody else possibly humanly that can help you, man. When your tears just don't stop tearing, when there ain't enough napkins in the box to stop you from crying, man. When your heart just aches so bad that no medication or nothing you could take can stop the pain from losing somebody you care about. They telling us that we can't rely or we can't speak their source out publicly no more. Are you serious? So you right. So you trying to close the church door. That's what you trying to do. You trying to go in New Shiloh. We just gonna use New Shiloh. Or we'll use New Psalmist, or we'll use any church you want to use. You trying to say that you gonna tell a pastor what to preach about. And if you grab the religion, then you gonna take all the Bibles off the shelf. So, this book it's a lot, it's a lot packed in this book that they really trying to change the fabric of America. And they don't care who eats. They don't care if you sleep. They don't care if you be outside in the street. They don't care if you walk, ride, catch a bus. It's obviously all they want to do is play golf and smoke cigars. So, um, I'm just, I can't, I can't begin to wrap my head around how did something like this even happen. And I was asleep like a lot of people were. I knew that um, he was a convicted felon, but I had no idea that he would go this far. So you had people inside Trump Plaza, they protesting, um, and the people that's protesting are the very ones that voted for him. Um, your man Elon Musk tried to get endorsement at a couple of stadiums, Raven Stadium for one. They turned them down. It was like, no, we don't want your product. We don't want to have nothing to do with you. A couple more baseball, football stadiums, they turned them down. He tried to get a mural put in a couple testers put in to our stadium. And our organization told him no. And he tried to get something in Oriole Park and they told him no. So that's good. That's good. His financial report is not looking good. But that's like, you done so much damage to other people is my issue. So my issue is the same as y'all. How you let two people try to, because I'm saying try, to destroy the world. Two people, basically two people and a couple puppets. How do you let them almost destroy the world? Now I get, I understand. I understand what's in the book, and I understand what they have already done. They have already done a lot. And I understand that it's going to be some more done. But I can't, for the life of me, see how you are comfortable with harming your own people when you took the oath that you would uphold the Constitution. You put your hand on the Bible, I understand you had your fingers crossed. I understand that. And so I understand certain people you just don't trust. And we don't trust certain people. Uh, but I can't see why you would want to bring harm to your own people. That's what I don't understand. And so I'm going to try to find out. I mean, racism is deeper than I ever thought it. It's like the older I'll say this. I'll say the older that we get as people, right? And I'm gonna try to take the color out of it because, I don't like to always use color, but I can only use the color that I am, and I can only use what the people that I am associated with and how they are affected. So I can only use that. I can't use nothing else. So I don't know how a person that that's not my color, not my nationality. I don't know how they affected. So I can't talk for them. But I, like a lot of my friends, we have faced racism more more than one multiple occasions, and we still face it. You'll get a look, or you'll get a stare, or you'll get, you know, all they gonna do is act a fool, and we don't act a fool, and now they trying to find out why we don't act a fool, and um, it's always something. It's like we always had to be better, do better, be educational. I always had to act better, or act like I got some sense. I've always had sense. It's not that I don't have sense. You want me to act like I don't have no sense, which I really don't have a problem with, but I shouldn't have to. I shouldn't have to. I shouldn't have to. I shouldn't have had to act like that. So, before I shut it down, I got a couple announcements I'm gonna bring to you. Um, I like to thank everybody for tuning in. Remember, we're going to. I really like this stuff because men swear they don't go through menopause, and men just as crazy as they want to be. I'm one, so I know. Um, I just think my DNA just messed up. I don't think it's no menopause with me. I just got some other issues. There's some mental stuff going on. I really need y'all to pray for me because I ain't wrapped too tight. Listen, just for the men and women. But when you get in the shower, right, your feet is a part that need to be washed. You just don't need to stay in the shower. You have to really wash your feet. Like, you can't just wash the rest of your body and then don't wash your feet. Your feet can't stay in the water, right? Cause you gotta wash your feet. I keep saying people with ashy feet, like, you wash your feet like you wash your face. I think people think that. You just wash your body and your feet get clean because they're in the water. No, it doesn't work like that. So, I'm just sharing that with you because I used to think like that. My feet get washed because they're in the water. Nah, son, you gonna need to. My mother used to say, nah, you gonna need to put some water on them or something. So that's my public that's my public announcement. All right, so here we go. Project 2025 is real. It's not a joke. I suggest you educate yourself for your future. I suggest you do that. I'm gonna do, um, I'm gonna do the best I can to bring you precise and clear information. Um, I'm gonna go into Eli when I come back tomorrow. I'll get into him. I'll let you know where he was raised, his grandfather, his mother, how they was born. Um, I'll do a little Trump stuff, where he was born, how he was doing, how many kids he have, how old they are. I'll do a little bit of that. I'm gonna run through some of the Democrat Party. I'll be back with some names and, where they come from, some background. We'll do that. We'll do some Democrat warriors that's on the front lines that's really fighting to make a difference. We'll do some local politicians, that's doing some work to try to stop and try to block. We'll talk about a couple of things that's in process that's gonna stop some stuff and some stuff that some lawyers are not allowing to do. A couple of lawyers put their foot down. I'll bring you that information about how you cannot shut lawyers up. You can't stop judges from you can't shut them up. The Constitution doesn't say that, especially a judge or a lawyer. So once you start going at them, you clearly want to silence the people. You're going after the wrong person. But if you pay attention, they targeting certain people and certain institutions. Now you have to remember, if you don't know this, most presidents come out of Harvard. A lot of presidents graduated from Harvard University. Quite a few of them came out of that institution. So that's one of the biggest educational institutions in the country, if not in the world. A lot of people come out of that, of all colors and of all nationalities. Most of them wind up being politicians. A lot of our presidents come from out that institution. So now I see why he targeting certain institutions. So you gotta hold your head up, and you gotta have your eyes on your future, because your future is today and tomorrow. It's not 2-3 years. Your future is when you close your eyes and wake up. People look at your future as being long term. Your future is short term. Your future is minutes, it's seconds, it's days, it's hours. You have to stop looking at your future 4 or 5 years ago. No. Future is anything beyond the present. Anything beyond the present. And my definition is my future. So that's where I'm at. I'm right there with that, but a rule of thumb, I just need you to understand, a lot of important people come out that Harvard game. People smart, man, people intelligent, Jack. So, what Harvard was like, no, I ain't trying to hear that. Cause Harvard know that it's a game and I'm gonna play it with you, but I'm more intelligent than you and half of your damn staff. So I think, I'm quite sure I can win this because you can't take. So certain monies are just allocated. That's just how it is. And you can't take it. You only could take it if you're dealing with people who are not educated and don't know the game. But when you're dealing with people that know the game, it's a little harder to take something that's allocated. There's certain stuff that's just in place that executive orders can't stop. You can play the game, like you can stop it, but you can't stop it because we still have a court system. So you can sign whatever you want to, but it's channeled. But you can hold up a lot of stuff, and because you sign it doesn't mean that it's law. It's a deterrent. Because we have a judicial system. We have a system of, and our forefathers knew that it would be a Donald Trump. So that's why they put stuff in place, because they like, it's going to be somebody that's going to come along, that's going to buck the whole system and try to run the whole thing. And so we need stuff in place where we can stop because of Donald Trump coming. So now we got a Donald Trump. But that's why we have a system that is in place. Now, should it work? It should if people play by the system. It's just like if we playing a card game and y'all losing, somebody liable to cheat. You got to count them books and watch what's on the table. It's the same kind of game. You got to watch the book, you got to watch the players, and you got to watch how they playing their hand. So the people at Harvard, they know how to play this game. They masters at being intelligent. You know, a lot of professors, a lot of people wrote books over it. You know, some of the best scholars come out them schools, man. Some people really educated. So when you go after an institution like that, you probably better know what you're doing. Because a lot of them people wrote laws. You know, a lot of them people sitting on boards that make that money move, that push that money and push that product and push everything that America's run. A lot of them people sit right there. And so you stepping on people told that had it not been for them, you wouldn't be sitting in a seat now, and you making people uncomfortable that have power, because the president does not hold the most powerful seat in the world. It seems like it. He is not the most powerful man in the world. He's just in a hell of a fucking position. For real. And the president doesn't make a lot of money. The perk, but you have athletes and scholars, you know, book writers, professors that make more money than the president. It's just a prestigious job, but I mean, to be the president, you had to be presidential and you had to represent the people. You have to know policy. You have to know foreign policy. You have to know law. And you have to know people in position. He knows nobody. He knows no law. He's not educated. He didn't come from a scholar family or school. He has no education. So when you're dealing with a person that don't have no education, what you think you're going to get? You're going to get this. You know, you dealing with people who the United States don't even deal with. You sitting at the table with people who we don't deal with. You going after a country, Africa, or over on that part of the world, that says that we don't need you because we got the memo and we just don't even want to live like that no more. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to do our own thing, and we suggest you not come over here because we tired. And as a people, I knew we would get tired. But you sending South Africans over here saying that they farmland being taken when 75% of farmland is owned by white folks, which we had first that they took. So you understand what a slap in the face is. We was the first farm. We ain't even gonna play with that. We was the first farm. Wall Street was real. They burned it down. It was real. So, you know, it was real. They burned it down. Everything we owned was stole from us. It was repacked. Betty Boop was a black lady. She was never white. She was black. Aunt Jemima Sirk, that was Al Sirk. Holly Davidson was a black man. They changed the name and made Holly Davidson motorcycle a white person. A black dude built the first motorcycle. So, you know, we get all of that. We understand where it comes from, and it's real. But at this late in the game, I'm surprised I'm kind of surprised we still fighting, but really I'm not. So let's go right here. The Democratic Party need to step it up. The Democratic Party is stepping it up. We just don't have enough people to make it work. So for those who don't understand, who keep thinking that the Democrats are just standing by, they not, their hands tied. We are not the majority. So we don't have a lot of say so. So we behind. So for those who don't understand politics and keep saying, why the Democrats won't do nothing? Why Democrats won't do nothing? The Democrats only can do what they hand allow for them to do. We need some more people. And we don't have enough. Because they flipped all the blue states, they flipped them red. So when Trump flipped all them states, we was in trouble. So we just gonna have to flip them back, and we will, because you done pissed a lot of people off that voted for you. So we'll flip those states, and once we flip those states, we gonna have to go to work. So for you young politicians, on a local level, we could do a lot. We can get with our politicians, and we can push them. We can make them earn their money. They're in position for a reason. We put them there. And if they not doing their job when re-election comes, they just won't have a job. Because at this point, the game is clearly over. So if you're a politician and you looking and you watching, wherever you at in the country, the game is probably over for you if you're not taking up for your people. So you don't want to come to the town hall, and you don't want to show up, and you don't want to participate, and you don't want to answer the phone. Don't worry about it, because your job is up for take. And the Democrat more than likely is going to take it, because a lot of them red states, they people unemployed, and they didn't vote to get their job taken away. So now you playing with people's livelihood, and I figured we would have learned by COVID or from COVID, but we didn't. That was a sad, bad, terrible situation that the Obama administration had put in place, and the Trump administration, they took us out of NATO. So when they took us out of NATO and on those foreign countries, and our scientists wasn't in those foreign countries no more looking for diseases that was coming to the U.S., that's basically how I got here. That's how I got here. So when you talk about, cutting programs and scientists and national parks, and, we affected, man. We affected. If they take the measles vaccination, you know what happened to this country? You're going to be in trouble. Kennedy just, I don't know, I can't understand. They got a whistle in his throat. All that money he got, they can't fix his voice back. I need that book because one of his family members wrote about him. So I'm going to get that. I'm going to read that. And we're going to get into the Kennedy and do a little investigation on him. I think Trump niece, Tammy Trump or something, he wrote something. So I'm going to see if I can grab that. Hi, Miss Robinson. I already talked about that. So she says, talk about how the men in the country are not ready to see a woman run for the country, and how many men either didn't vote at all or voted for Trump. So I was on that, but I can touch on it again. My take, I talked to a couple people, and my take on that is the same as most people. You have to understand that Africans run their country. They don't like women to do anything. And a couple other nationalities and people just that believe that women don't run the world, but women are a vital part of the fabric of the world, not just the country. Women play a vital part. And that lady is very more than capable. She's a great, phenomenal Her background is extensive. Her husband is phenomenal. She knows policies. She knows. She knows. But here we go again. A woman can't run a country because women are strong enough to run a country. But women run their household. Women run the world. Women are phenomenal. And without them in the world would not be as great as it is. I believe that. I believe that. I'm not saying y'all smarter than us, but I know, I ain't going that far. But then again now, hold on, man. Hold on now. I mean, yeah, I know some women that's a little more intelligent than I am. So yeah, you can get that. But, certain men, I voted for her. I did. I did. Um, she was the best person for the job and she still is. I believe she'll be back or I believe her husband will be back. Do I think America is ready for a woman of any color president? I don't. Hillary tried to do it. She was unsuccessful. Um, Hillary couldn't. She was unsuccessful. They didn't want her to do it. Miss Obama would have been perfect. She would have been perfect. She would have been perfect. They weren't going to vote for her. She a woman and she Afro-American. Not going to happen. I can't even say it still will happen. I think that they would put a man in place instead of an able woman that's more than capable of running this country. She would have been a heck of a president. She would have been a heck of a president. A lady, Afro-American, first black woman. Yeah, 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 yeah. She had my vote. I was going for her. And in the back of my mind, I was like, no, they're going to go for the orange man. And it happened. So I was disappointed. I really was. I was really disappointed that she didn't win. I wanted her to win so bad, man. I was disappointed. And then I had to hear these people talk about, I told you, you know. So now, since we're on this subject, Miss Robinson, they want to take their vote back. It's too late. It's too late to take your vote back. And as long as men keep that mental, it will never happen. Jasmine Crockett is on her game, and she would be a perfect candidate for the next. Yeah, yeah. Jasmine, my girl. She, she doing what she gotta do. But I don't know if that's a position for Jasmine. I think Jasmine is more of a, in the trenches. I think she should be at a higher position, but I don't think she should be that president. I think she should be that person behind the president. She works better to me in the trenches. She's a great front runner. Now, I would put her out there against anybody. Would I put her out there all the time? Nah, I don't think she need to be out there all the time. I think she like the backup. I think she come through when it's necessary. I think you send her in there when you think it's a game, you think you playing. I think you send her in there then. Cause she gonna set the stage for whatever come next. But as far as to be the front runner, I wouldn't put her in front, Miss Robinson. I wouldn't. Now, if I was going somewhere, I definitely would take her with me. You know, she definitely would be my right hand, sure enough, hands down. She that type of person that she can walk with me, but I wouldn't put her out front. I don't think that she a stage setter. She can set the stage. You know, she like the choir before the preacher preach. She won now. You know, you got it. She won now. So I will put her right there. And there's a couple other people that's up in there that's doing a good job. You know, the dude Van Harlan, he did his thing and he trying to for the people, for the people, for the people. So we gonna but that's a good point, Miss Robinson. I'm with you. I'm with you on that. I'm right there with you. Um, but you know, women are vital to the world and the society, man. They without women, this thing wouldn't even work like this. Because men ain't changing no diapers and they can't breastfeed, so we in trouble right there. They, we just some trash sometimes, man. We don't want to clean the kitchen. They don't want to put the trash out. Some of them don't want to go to work. Some of them women take care of them, and then some men don't. But then you have some women who want men to take care of them. So it's an interesting conversation um, that we gonna have. But that's a good point, Miss Robinson. I love Jasmine. I watch all the time. So look, he coming on tomorrow at the same time around 7. We be on around 7. So I need y'all to tune in, tune in, and we gonna have. I was reading. Tune in. Now we gonna have a conversation. It's raining. It's gonna rain all day tomorrow, so y'all be safe and careful. Um, going and coming. Um, I grant you peace and mercy, going and coming to work and on your journey. Um, I pray everything all right. If you got some issues, whatever it is, man, just look. Just do the best you can. Pray. If you don't know how to pray, talk to your creator. I can't tell you what to do, but just do the best you can, man. It's gonna get a little tough out here. I'm gonna need some help. So I'm gonna bring you, what I can. Podcast 1700block. 1700block saved my life. Saved my life, man. I like to thank all my friends and people who know me and people who don't know me. I like to thank y'all for tuning in. I appreciate the support. If there's anything that you feel like I missed, you can surely inbox me. You can text me and tell me, give me some correction, give me some feedback, something I get better with. Um, I take all of them. I take the encouragement, I take the good with the bad, I take it all. I'm just trying to have a conversation. Who knows? Who knows what might happen, man? Um, so let me close with this. Same time tomorrow, 7. I'm gonna pick a new topic. Um, we podcast 1700. I think we on like 30 plus platforms. We out of Baltimore, Maryland, Jack. We in the lab right now. So let's do it like this. Stay aware, stay vigilant, Stay prayed up. Trust and believe. Do the best you can. If you need some help, don't be afraid to ask. If you ain't gonna be able to do this by yourself, you're gonna need some help. Um, and with that, man, thanks for listening to your podcast, 1700 block. I'm your host, Mr. Parnell. And we'll pick up the conversation tomorrow at 7. Go old.